from the civilian sector, including its fishermen and merchantmen and their boats. The naval leadership founded naval academies and established a system for grooming the next generation of seagoing officers and troops in lightning speed. By the fall of 1950, the Chinese Navy had developed a long-term vision and a concrete build-up plan. But war on the Korean Peninsula and Mao's subsequent decision to intervene in the conflict abruptly changed Beijing's priorities and substantially curtailed the Navy's program. Running parallel to the PLAN's institutional development were a series of amphibious operations by Mao's forces to capture various offshore islands occupied by the Nationalists. The PLA conducted a remarkably diverse set of island-seizing campaigns. The objectives, the scale of the landings, and the physical terrain varied widely, and the strategic consequences of the battles were equally diverse. The field armies that had conquered large swaths of the mainland launched the cross-sea landings along China's southeastern and southern coasts. The 3rd Field Army covered operations along the coasts of Zhejiang and Fujian provinces, while the 4th Field Army was responsible for taking islands located off Guangdong province. In October 1949, the 3rd Field Army's abysmal failure to seize Jinmen, a small island garrison just off the coast of Fujian province, derailed Mao's original invasion plans against Taiwan, marking the beginning of the cross-strait stalemate that persists to this day. The calamitous campaign that saw 3 regiments, numbering some 9,000 troops, wiped out within days, deeply shook Mao and the High Command. The defeat awakened the Communists to the harsh and unforgiving realities of naval combat and amphibious operations. The Jinmen catastrophe also served as a cautionary tale from which subsequent theater commanders drew important lessons. The operation still resonates deeply today. It is a classic case study in the PLA's historiography and professional military education. Chinese scholars and strategists continue to argue over its causes and its implications for a future war against Taiwan. In early 1950, the 4th Field Army launched the PLA's first large-scale amphibious operation against Hainan, an island comparable in size to Taiwan. In the assault against Hainan, the Communists landed some 45,000 troops, making the campaign one of the largest in post-war history. The captured islands furnished China with a commanding position over the South China Sea. Today, the Yulin naval base on Hainan's southern tip is the locus of Chinese sea power in the region. The seizure of the Wanshan archipelago in the summer of 1950 was the first joint Army-Navy operation, which preceded the more famous Tri-Service campaign against the Yijiangshan Islands in 1955. The various naval battles and island landings cleared the mouth of the Pearl River, securing the seaborne approaches to Guangzhou, a major economic and maritime hub. The Wanshan campaign is considered the Chinese Navy's first combat operation and is integral to the Naval Service's historiography. In short, this story is not strictly confined to the Chinese Navy. Rather, this study adopts a broad view of sea power. As Jeffrey Till notes, sea power encompasses all implements of national power that can directly determine the course and outcome of maritime affairs, including navies, coast guards, the marine or civil marine industries broadly defined, and, where relevant, the contribution of land and air forces. As this study shows, non-naval instruments, including Mao's armies and China's civilian maritime sector, were indispensable to the Communists' earliest successes at sea. This story also shows that the PLAN's origins are inseparable from the PLA's offshore operations in 1949 and 1950. As one Chinese National Defense University study explains, during the early period of the Navy's founding, the coastal defense, maritime thought had an obvious imprint of land combat. The central missions in the struggle for maritime defense were clearing banditry at sea, breaking the naval blockade, and recovering